Let's go to education, and Mr. Chris Kenny.
Thank you, Heath. Dan, you had to follow Pete. I followed Jeff, so I have a lot of cross-outs on my sheet as well. Jeff, thank you for the kind words regarding the Education Committee. The people that have worked hard for you this last year on that committee, Steve Scott, John Hobbins, Kirk O'Guri, Sarah Dixon, Kevin Sprecher, Carl Obermeyer, and Andrew Gruss. They've all committed a great deal of time to helping cultivate the programs that we've had, and it's been a pleasure to work with them. Steve Scott has been working and is heading up our winter education series for this coming winter. So please keep an eye open for details on that over the course of the next month. As Jeff mentioned, we did have a successful year. We had over 20 programs that were offered to the membership, 7 of those which were winter programs last year. I think the key theme has been and will continue to be what your value is as a golf professional in the industry and to your facility, and making sure that you are relevant in that field. One last thing is roundtables. We have been working on our sites. We are targeting the week of November 14th to hold those roundtable sessions. Details will be sent out in the next week with locations and specific dates. Again, it's been a pleasure to serve the section on your education. We're looking forward to a great day today with Dr. Brett McCabe. I've had several conversations with him over the last month, and each time I've left the conversation just wanting more. I hope you'll find the same today. Thank you.
Chris, thank you. I think the Education Committee has kicked it out of the park. The last 3 or 4 presenters, Butch and everybody, so great job. Thank you for all the hard work. I'm going to do the Employment and Club Relations Report. Very briefly, this is completely redundant from everything that's already gone on. Jonathan said we do have a very stable job market in the section, which is great. The Department of Labor, all the stuff that's available online. But mostly congratulations to Bobby Hines, John Kennedy, and Michael Ternessa. Thank you guys for coming out and playing the Squire Cup. Had a great time. You guys sharing your wisdom with the crew. But thank you for everything that you guys have done for the section, and best of luck in the next chapter. All right? Congrats to those guys. We'll go right to the assistance report. Mr. Corey Muller.
Thanks, Heath. This time of year, just a quick bit of thanks to the outgoing board of the assistants who have represented all the assistants very well, a number of initiatives that were taken on, and I think a job well done. So I just want to recognize the committee outgoing of Dennis Dungy, Tyler Hamamio, Pete Catanzaro, Jimmy Farrell, and Alex Smith. Thank you all for your hard work. This past Monday, a new board was elected, and if they're here in the room, I'd like you to stand and be recognized, please. For 2017, the new president, Tyler Hamamio. First vice president, Pete Catanzaro. Second vice president, Alex Smith. Treasurer, Tyler Lauer. And the secretary, Frankie Martinez. Thanks, everybody. And best of luck going forward. Just a little update on the Assistants Player of the Year. It's all but wrapped up, but there's an outside chance. Pete Ballo, with his 3 wins this year, is leading the race, but Anthony Arruda is heading down to the National Assistants Championship with an outside shot at taking over that victory. So we'll have to see how that plays out. With that being said, thanks to all the assistants for a very productive year. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Cor. Let's go to Public Relations. Mr. James Ondo.
Thank you, Heath. I'm going to keep this pretty short. Public Relations Committee had a great year. Thanks to our chairman, Adam McDade, and our communications director, Paul Giordano. Paul is instrumental in overhauling our website, the junior golf website, and also the online directory. Paul is also proactive in upgrading our social media outreach with the teaching tips, tournament highlight videos and updates, and the coverage of our members during the PGA Championship at Baltusrol. Lastly, the Public Relations Committee helped celebrate the centennial of the PGA of America throughout the section and is working hand in hand with the Northeast New York section for the annual meeting, which takes place the second week of November in Manhattan. So we appreciate all of the support. Our members have shown the sponsors throughout the season, throughout the tournaments, educational opportunities on social media, and we look forward to a great 2017. Thank you very much.
Good job putting that together. And our honorary president in charge of special awards, Mr. Brad Worthington. Where's Brad hiding? All right, we'll skip Brad. He'll be up later. Tournament committee, Mr. Dave Fusco.
Thank you, Heath. Likewise, I'll make this brief. I know we're running a little bit behind. There should be a slideshow that should be playing behind me as I'm speaking, highlighting the 2016 season. Paul? You know, he might not. I know. We'll give him a second. Heath, let Brad go. We'll bring Brad up for now.
Two-shot penalty for slow play. Sorry about that. Congratulations to all the award winners for 2016. The nominations for 2017 are online. They're due in February, so please, if you could choose somebody you like and go ahead and nominate them. This meeting actually concludes my 15 years as an officer of the Met PGA. I want to thank everybody. It's been a lot of fun. I want to thank you for attending section meetings, for PGA Hope, for Patriot Golf Day, for PGA Junior Golf League, and for so many other things that you do. Congratulations to Heath Wassam on his tenure, and also for taking over to transition for Charlie to Jeff. And congratulations to Brian Kroll. Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
We'll slow. All right, we'll show that maybe during a break or as the program continues. But I just want to welcome everyone here and get right to the report here. I just want to thank all the clubs each year that allow us to use their facilities to conduct our tournaments. So thank you very much. And anyone out there, please keep in mind, each year we are looking for sites. Okay, they just don't happen. It's something that we pursue, and we look for professionals to come to us, the tournament committee, or to Dan, or to Jeff, and to offer your your facility so that we can conduct our events. Basically, the results of the 2016 season are in the report. But in addition to what is already listed in the championship report, I would like to recognize a few of our Met PGA professionals for their outstanding accomplishments. First off, Jessica Carafiello for qualifying for the 2017 KPMG's Women's PGA Championship that will be hosted at Olympia Fields in Chicago. Great playing, Jessica. Mark Brown, second place finish in the PGA Professional Championship at Turning Stone. And Jeff stole a little thunder of mine with the five individuals from our section: Matt Dobbins, Ben Pollan, Mark Brown, Brian Gaffney, and Rob Labritz on their showing in this year's PGA Championship at Baltusrol. Great playing, guys. Great playing. Keep it up. As for Player of the Year, Jessica Carafiello is our Women's Met PGA Player of the Year. And Rob Labritz is our Met PGA Section Player of the Year based on the Omega point standing. So congratulations. The senior results won't be in until after the Senior Professional Championship this November in Port St. Lucie. And I know the assistants hasn't been finalized. They are playing down in Port St. Lucie this coming week. Actually, I think starts tomorrow. In reference to the tournament committee, I mean, we did a lot of good things. I think in my 3 years here as tournament chairman, one of the things that I think worked out well is pace of play. We're still seeing strong results, and we'll continue working on it, and will be a work in progress. I do want to thank all the staff who were involved in that. It was pretty intricate to collect all the data, but with that data, it's been very good for us in terms of moving forward with doing a better job as a committee with the pace of play. Lincoln Pro-Ams, once again, the race for the lease continues, and our participation actually this year has grown by about 10%, which is good because it's been kind of flatlined over the last few years. And those Pro-Ams are extremely important to our sponsor, and to the section. Just in closing, a few thank yous. Our sponsors, it's because of their tremendous support, that we are able to play for the purses that we play for. Probably unlike any other section in the country. To the tournament committee, I'd like to thank them for all their time, their energy, and their ideas that help shape the tournaments, and obviously make us the best playing section in the country. And lastly, a special thanks to the staff of the Met PGA. They are the ones that make all of this possible. Once again, about 85 to 90 tournament days that they conduct for men, women, and seniors. 1,300 juniors, and that's about 120 junior events in a 2-month period. It's pretty amazing. For those of us who run events at our clubs, know what we do to run maybe 20 of them. But for what they do, it's just an amazing feat. So please give a round of applause to the staff for the outstanding job that they did for our tournaments in 2016. Thank you.
Do we have video? Soon? Okay. All right. I would like to bring up for the foundation report covering many different topics, Mr. Stuart Walk.
Thank you. Thank you, Heath. Starting with junior golf, I just want to report on another successful year. Over 100 tournaments within 60 days, an incredible accomplishment by the staff. Dan Frankel, Caitlin Sabat, I just want a round of applause. You guys do an amazing job in representing us and all we offer to junior golf in the area. I want to thank all the professionals in the room as well for the access to the golf courses. We can't do it without you guys, and so thank you for your continued support, and also for the coming years. We'll be at it again next spring, signing everyone up as well. I ask you, hopefully, if you can read the whole report that's written here. There's a lot going on. I'm just going to kind of highlight some things. I want to highlight the special award ceremony that we had at Wingfoot just a few weeks ago. And I want to thank Steve Scott for the presentation that he gave. They played the clip that NBC did on him on that historic match against Tiger Woods. And to watch the part in the clip where Steve reminded Tiger to move his ball marker back, you just couldn't have played that in a better room for kids to prove the point. It's about how you play the game and carry yourself rather than winning it at all costs. So what a great message and a great night. Thanks, Steve. Just some things that we're doing with the foundation, with the extra dollars. What we're able to do is to provide scholarship opportunities to the juniors that have participated in the Met PGA program, and it's a nice kind of sending away kind of honor to give them as they leave high school and continue on in college. But there's funds of up to $10,000 are available now for the juniors that have been playing in our program. On top of that, look at that list with the Met PGA Junior Alumni Association. Look at all those names of of our list of 2016 of the graduating class, and who's continuing to play in college and as well maybe join a PGM program. It's a very impressive list. One of the big successes in the last couple of years, 4 years ago, we started with 4 teams in our section for the PGA Junior League. We now, this past year, we're at 110 teams. As with anything, it has kind of some growing pains in the last couple of years. How to sign up for it, the administrative piece of it through national kind of didn't go so smoothly in the as everyone signed up this year. There's a couple of things that we're going to do this year. One, if you're not in this program, please look at these clubs that you see that are in this program. You're going to see clubs that are in your neighborhood and in your local area. Maybe as a first thing, just to maybe reach out to the professional that ran in there and get some information as to what his experience was. And I guarantee you, you're going to hear a very positive experience as to how it grew the game in junior golf at his or her facility. So that's step one. Step two is later this fall, what we're trying to do, Caitlin is trying to organize the leagues and the divisions to kind of get a head start of it so that we can have the thing up and running by the springtime. So hopefully by the end of this season and by January, February, we'll have a very a rough draft, hopefully close to a finalized draft of all the people that are interested in participating. To that end, I've been in conversation with some people from PGA National that I've been asked to be on a committee for an advisory committee to help improve the PGA Junior League. And so if you get a chance, call me. If you see me here today, please come up and talk to me as to anything that you might have that would make this program run better, and maybe some glitches that you had that you'd like to see kind of ironed out. I know the way that it was, the captains ended up receiving a check because they signed up for it, made some administrative issues for me because I was incurring the expenses, but the money got sent to a check made to my assistant. So there's some things that I had an issue with, and if you have other ones, please let me know. On the first tee report, again, I ask you to please read it. We have a great relationship with the first tee. I think it's a pretty special relationship that we have in the nation. But I just kind of want to read this piece to you here. In 2016, our chapter employs a combined of 10 PGA members and apprentices who managed and deliver the instruction of the first tee curriculum at one of 6 locations. The success of our chapter has been predicated by the strong relationship we share with the Metropolitan Section PGA. The generosity of the local PGA members has helped our chapter over the years by providing volunteer instructional support, golf equipment donations, and financial investment to help with our growth. We would not have been able to be one of the top 5 chapters in the nation without our PGA partners. Thank you one and all, from Barry McLaughlin, the Senior Director of Operations and Chapter Development. That kind of says it all for the commitment that we've made to the first tee, and I thank you for it. We're going to grow this game. We have to do it not only at our clubs, but we have to do it in our communities. And this is a great way for us to kind of reach out to the first tee and help grow the game in our area through our club by touching those in our community that are outside our club. For the PGA Hope part of this discussion, I'd like to invite Paul Glutt up.
Thank you.
Thank you. 2016, we had a great year for Hope. The growth was awesome. We raised, I want to thank everybody, we raised about $200,000 for Patriot Golf. And in September 11th, 12th, we went up to the Military Foundation event that Chris Kenny and Ray Ford, where are they at? They did an awesome job at that event. We raised $75,000 for Patriot Golf and $25,000 for Hope. It was a great day, great night. The event ran great. I can't stress enough how how guys should get involved in that, and next year bring teams up there. 2015 we started with 25 vets and 12 pros up at West Point, and we expanded to 2 sites. We expanded in the fall. We went to 3 sites in the spring and 3 more sites this fall. We graduated 35 people the first year, the first fall. We went up to 75, about 75 players the first spring, and last fall was 75. This spring we had 130 players, 130 vets and pros up at Metropolis, and it was awesome. And this year, this fall, we graduated almost 100 veterans, and we had 170 people graduating that came to Woodside this past last week. And we had to stop. We had to kind of cut it off a little bit because we couldn't handle 170 on a golf course. Was a lot. But we had so much fun. We started with 25 vets graduating the first program. We first started there, and now we have 275 graduates through the vets, graduating vets through this program. And I just think it's amazing of where we've gone. And it's all due to the staff. It's all due to the PGA professionals. We had 106 different professionals participate this year alone. If any of you guys are in the room, could you please stand up? Just because of these individuals, these veterans, thank you so much. Because of the dedication of these pros, the veterans have really have gotten new life. And so many of them have told me such great stories of how not only it saved their life, but it gave them something that they didn't have before. A skill in a game, but also camaraderie that we all share when we play golf. Our staff, Caitlin, Jonathan, Dan, Paul, the whole staff did a wonderful job going sometimes from Mashalou, coming straight to Woodside, going from West Point to another place, on top of everything else they had to do. I can't thank them enough of how much that they've done for this program. And then, of course, especially my number one rock star, Commander-in-Chief, as we call her, Kelly Clayton. I can't express how much that she has done for this program. She poured her heart and soul into this program, and it truly shows all the veterans how much they really, really care about her. This past week we lost Michael, her husband, and he has been such a pillar in this event, and he loved this event, and it showed. His passion being there all the time really showed, and the phone calls and texts I got from the veterans that was a true testament at how much they really, really appreciated all he did for them. And his presence will be missed, and we do really appreciate everything that Kelly and Michael and the whole staff and all the pros have done for them. Kelly and I talked this summer, and Jonathan and we talked this summer. We can't believe how far it's gone from the day we were at Westchester with about 25 of us in a boardroom talking about it. That day that some of us might have went there just to look to get some points, and how much it's grown, and how many people it's affected is truly amazing. And I think if you haven't done it in the past, please come out and just try it once. And I dare you to say that you won't come back again, because it is talking with these guys, these vets. They're special people, and a lot of them, they love getting there and playing golf and learning golf, but that's just one reason. They get there and you get together and get together with their fellow veterans, and it really makes a huge, huge difference in their life. So thank you all, and please come out. We've gone from, when we talk about where we've gone, we were on TV and Fox and Friends, Golf Channel, all the things that have gone from this little program, and where we can go in the future. We're looking for how we're going to grow and how we're going to get this program to be even more. It's not just about the golf, but about getting these veterans together in the off season, so they can still connect with their fellow veterans. They can still find that brotherhood, and that's really what I'm going to ask for help from everybody else. If you have ideas or things we can do, I really appreciate it. 2017 is going to be bigger and better. I really appreciate all the help everybody's been doing for us, and I look forward to what it's going to bring for us for next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you to both Stuart, the passion that Stuart has for Junior League and junior golf, and now also Hope, his amount of time. And Paul, thank you so much for your leadership role in the Hope program. And can't say enough great things about that program, but it is saving lives every day. And thank you to both of you for all of your contributions on behalf of the section. Thank you, guys. We'll roll over to the nominating committee report. Mr. Jim Smoot.
Thank you very much. Good morning, fellow professionals. The nominating committee has proposed its slate for the 2017. It's in your packet. I'm going to briefly just read through it quickly. For President, Brian Crowell. First VP, Carl Alexander. Second VP, Chris Kenny. Treasurer, Stuart Wax. Secretary, Michael Schenk. Board of Directors, Billy Bresnan, Andrew Gross, Theron Harvey, Ben Hoffine, Jim Lusk, Adam McDade, Carl Obermeyer, James Ondo, Peter Prokops, and Steve Scott. That will be our presented and proposed. We asked for a second on that. Mr. President, how do we? Seconded. Board seconded. Thank you very much. Our outgoing board, we want to thank them for their service. Dave Fusco, Corey Muller, Jamie Kilmer, Sean Quinlivan, and Heath Wassam, our president, who did serve that extra year. And we do thank you very much for your time served. It's a very thankful time to serve on the board. The nominating committee will be voted on today going forward, and this is your chance to put on the nominating committee who you think will select the slates going forward. So it's an important process. We do take it seriously. The nominating committee has designated 4 people which they wish to stay on. In your packet there that you collected, it's on the table. We ask that you do take your time to fill that out. We will be coming around to pick that up, and we'll give the results later on in the meeting today. I want to thank my committee, the nominating committee that served over the last 2 years, Joe Felder, Tom Henderson, Greg Hurd, Bobby Hines, Michael Breed, and Mike Diffley. Thank you for the service in putting together this slate, and we're very confident that the gentleman we've put forward will continue to drive this section in the direction it's heading in. Did I miss anything? We're going to vote. Nominating committee. Yep, slates are there. Just go ahead and take your paper out. Go ahead and mark it up, and then we're going to pick it up. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, guys. Well, if anyone did not pick up a ballot for nominating committee, please see Dan or Caitlin in the back of the room. And while we do that, I'll just briefly go over my quick report before we turn it over to Brad to swear in the new board. Before I started this job, I could actually read. Now I can't, so I need the glasses. But first and foremost, I want to thank my outgoing board members, Dave Fusco, who's been my tournament chairman for the past 3 years. Met section is teaching and playing, so thank you, Dave, for that critical role and your support over that time. Thanks, Dave. Jamie Kilmer, Corey Muller, Sean Quinlivan, thank you as well, guys, for your time away from families. Greatly appreciated. And I guess the next thing, staff, we've already been talking about it, but I'm the guy that's going to get to take credit for getting rid of Charlie and getting a new guy in here that can actually do something, Mr. Jeff Voorhees. But the staff has been a year change, and it's just kind of can't state that enough about how good this crew has been during this year of change. Kind of not sure whose roles what, taking over different things, but they've all stepped up to the plate. Kevin Rodine, Caitlin, John Gold, always chipping in, helping out, even though he works for National now. Kelly, absolutely the captain that runs the ship, and feeling for her right now. Dan and Dan, Paul, thank you guys for everything that you do, the professionalism that you bring to represent the section every day out there in front of the golf professionals, but as well as more importantly in front of the members of the clubs. And Jeff, hit the ground running. First year as executive director. Couldn't be more proud of how you stepped into some big size 18 shoes for Charlie. But thank you for everything that you've done, and congratulations on a great year. Just a couple of quick highlights. I'd like to congratulate all the award winners who are going to be receiving these plaques for all the hard work. Well done, well deserved, and congratulations there. And just a few things that we've talked about so far today. Junior League and Hope. Absolutely amazing programs. Jump in, get involved, do it. There's no reason not to. Reach out to any one of us who have a team or have participated working with the vets, and you'll see how personally rewarding it is. And I'll just wrap up with, we're going to segue into the annual meeting here in a couple weeks. There is no easier opportunity for any of us in this section to attend an annual meeting. Jump on the train, get to Grand Central Station. It's in the Grand Hyatt. All you have to do is walk up the stairs and you are in the hotel. There's a tunnel there. It's that easy. Thursday and Friday are the meeting days. I believe Thursday morning is informal session. Friday is the election day and the formal business meeting. Like Jeffrey said, you will see the association in a different light. And there are a lot of bright, brilliant people across the country that spend their time trying to administer and govern our organization, and they do it with passion and great professionalism. So you will see a great program there. With that, wrapping up, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Brad Worthington, and we will elect our new board and administer the oath of office.
Thank you, Heath. I'd like to call up the new board. Stand in front of me, please. And Heath's going to give you a thing to read. Face towards them. Okay. Okay, let's start out, guys. I, as a member of the Board of Directors of the Metropolitan PGA Section, do hereby affirm that I shall at all times adhere to and uphold the Association's Constitution, bylaws, rules, and regulations, and that I shall otherwise conduct my activities in a manner that shall be in keeping with my position as a member of the Board of Directors of the Metropolitan Section, and which shall reflect credit upon the association and its members. Congratulations.
Last call for nominating committee ballots. If you haven't handed that in, you can find Jeff back there. Before I get to new business and open forum, I want to do one thing, my first act as new president of the section. First of all, I want to thank the nominating committee for their faith in me. I'm very honored to be in this position. And I want to thank Heath Wassam for his years of service and all the help he's given me preparing for this, and the past board of directors and the current board of directors. I'm excited to work with these folks. And Jeff already mentioned them in the back of the room, but we have just the most incredible staff at the Met PGA section. So another round of applause for all the folks that help us at the section office. And what I'd like to do is present our outgoing president with a gift from the section for his years of service. Heath, come on up. So at this point in time, I will open it up for new business. Does anybody have anything they'd like to discuss? open forum. We'll transition right along here. And by the way, I do want to say that we're always looking for new involvement at the board level, at the committee level. I've got some great people already in positions for committee assignments, but they'll be looking for your help to assist them. I would encourage all of you not only to attend the annual meeting, but to get involved at the section level. We really need your support, your help, and new ideas, new perspectives are always appreciated. So contact one of the board members if you'd like to get involved, and we would certainly make that happen. At this point, I think I'm going to turn things over to the awards portion of the program. So, Chris?
Thank you, Brian. It's a wonderful part of our year to recognize those that have gone on to do great things within our section. Our first award today is going to be a new award. That's a section award. It's the Assistant Professional of the Year Award. As mentioned earlier, this was previously an award that was given out by one of our manufacturers. But in their departure from the award, the board of directors viewed this as being an integral part and an important award for our section. This year, the board of directors reviewed all of the submissions that were put in for the Squire Cup and narrowed down to 4 finalists for the Assistant Professional of the Year. Those 4 finalists then were interviewed by the board of directors in person, and the traits that were utilized to choose this year's Assistant Professional were an assistant who has made a commitment to better themselves professionally, made contributions to their club, contributions and their volunteerism within the section, and has become a role model for all other assistants in our section. I'd like to invite up John Kennedy to introduce the 2016 Assistant Professional of the Year.
Thank you, Chris. And I would like to, now that I have the microphone, just personally thank Heath for the time he's put on our behalf, and also to well wish to Brian Kroll, who's also been very involved in the section, and to Tom Henderson as he moves on to as a national director. Those 3 gentlemen have represented us all very well. Chris called me, I guess about a week ago. I asked if I'd present this award to Ian, and certainly it brought a smile to my face because of my relationship with Ian. But that the board of directors would feel so strongly that they would elevate this award to this forum, I think notes how special they feel about it. For somebody to be able to rise to the level of Assistant of the Year in the Met section, as you know, there are many, many top assistants in the Met section as a special award. Ian not only has done a great job in terms of the interview and the written procedure for this award, but he's also made time to contribute his time and energy to Met PGA Foundation, which certainly Stuart represented very well, to Junior Golf and to PGA Hope, which are 3 great initiatives here in the section. Ian has achieved PGA certification in teaching and coaching, which is a pretty rare feat. He's also achieved 4 levels of TPI certification, and he's been a twice honorable mention in the top 50 for U.S. kids in terms of a top junior instructor. Spoke to a few people on Ian's behalf. Corey Muller, who's his current employer, and Corey mentioned how much he enjoys working with Ian the last 2 years, or maybe working for Ian the last 2 years. Said he's a very impressive professional, a high level of daily performance, certainly a consistent growth in his competitive playing ability, but that he's made his time for involvement in charity and junior golf outside his job at Darien, which is really very notable. He always strives to improve himself, represents Darien and the Met PGA very well. I spoke to Bob Kane, who's a former assistant of mine, who is a cohort of Ian's at Westchester, and he said that the thing you remember most about Ian is people enjoy being around him. He's a thoughtful leader who wants others to do very well. He's always willing to lend a hand. He inspires others to be a better professional through his dedication and his work ethic. When Ian was on my team, which he was for 6 years. The things I remember is his ready smile, his willing. He always answered yes. Whenever the question was, Ian, could you help out? The answer was yes. And he led, as Corey said, by his example, and really is an integrity, which sets him apart, I think, as a not only as a golf professional, as a man. So it's my pleasure to introduce the 2016 Assistant Professional of the Year, Ian Orr.
John, thank you. I want to start by first just explaining how really humbled I am to receive this award, just knowing who else could have won it and how high I regard them as golf professionals. I want to thank my wife, Jen, who can't be here, but puts up with everything from golf tees in the dryer to member guests on Saturdays. She gets it, she's supportive, and I am lucky for that. I want to thank the staff at Darien, Corey's staff, because without them, it wouldn't be possible to raise the money, to be away, to volunteer, or even to be here to accept this award without someone manning the fort. So, guys, thanks. I want to thank the Met PGA board and the Met PGA staff as they provide us professionals with a platform to use our game to make a difference. I want to thank JK, his staff of Harvey, Barry Troiano. As one of the first people I got to work for, he instilled the importance of giving back and getting involved. And one of the first things that impressed me about JK was his willingness to help others. Most people know about his willingness to sit down with a guy or gal going for their next job, but it was more than that. It was him helping everyone that wasn't himself. I want to thank Gary Weir, who was also a member of the staff, who always took the time to help me with my game, to talk golf swing, and more importantly, push me to better myself as a professional, especially through education. I'm happy to call him one of my mentors and a friend. I want to thank Bruce Zabriskie, who's receiving an award today, who I can say is very deserving. And there were two ways to get Bruce's attention in conversation. One of which was to ask him to tell one of his many stories, which for those of you that know Bruce is pretty good at. But the second way and an easier way was to always ask him for help. And he was very willing to do that. Last but not least, I want to thank my current boss, Corey, for giving me a ride this morning. But seriously, for giving me the support when I need it, the freedom when I want it, and always giving me a chance to figure it out on my own. So for that balance, I was able to grow the last couple of years professionally in more ways than you will know, and I'm forever grateful for that. But as I look at the list of awards and the underlying meaning of each, I kind of notice a common theme. One of service and contribution, whether it be to the association, other professionals, or the community. It really comes down to giving back more than you take. And when I first got started in the section almost 10 years ago, I didn't really know where or how to get involved. And I started by, as most do, by playing in tournaments, attending meetings, etc. And those first couple of years, I took a lot from the section. I took advantage of playing in a great tournament. I took an opportunity to go see a Butch Harmon or a Sean Foley. I always took someone up on an invitation to go play one of the great golf courses in the area. And that was all great, but I was always taking. And it wasn't soon after that I started giving back, and it came in a lot of different forms, from volunteering to helping junior golf any way I could, to fundraising. And I started to see how important it was to set an example for new professionals coming in, because I was once in their shoes myself. So I accept this award not as an end, but as an inspiration for me to continue to live up to what the award means. Congratulations to all the other award winners, and thank you.
I'd like to now invite up Mr. Stuart Wack to introduce the Merchandiser of the Year in the private sector.
This is an honor for me to introduce one of my good friends with a very well-deserved honor as Merchandiser of the Year. You don't know too many PGA professionals like Sam Wiley. He just does everything at the highest level and at the highest effort in everything that he does. And when I think about what separates him from all people, it's not only that level of expectation that he has for himself, but for his staff. He has the ability to attract quality assistants and magically make them even more qualified and keep moving them on in their careers. My wife and I are good friends with Sam and Marianne, and quite often we make plans. It's amazing how often, Sam, do you have time? No, I'm training on something. I got someone coming in, going to talk to the staff and on whatever latest piece of equipment or product that's out there. And I always find myself thinking, man, I should do that. The other thing that he does is that the way that he educates himself. The same way that he brings in the most talented people to come in and train the staff, he'll think of nothing of getting on a plane and going down and seeing David Orr to go work on his putting, go see some of the top instructors of the year, so that he can bring that back to his club. We run a member guests at the same time. We had some bad weather coming. I'm talking to Sam about it. Sam had already ordered tons of rainwear and gloves and different things, and it's kind of way ahead of the curve. Just a testimony to his effort. He also has vision and is very creative in what he does. At his club, he's got a beach club, a gun club, paddle, and anytime that you walk into a shop, it's just amazing on how he kind of serves the needs of all those different aspects that go on in the club. And even a couple years ago, creating a different logo for the beach club for the Weeburn experience. Trackman, Sam putting, everything he does is just a testimony to how he creates the whole program that is just at a level that's impressive. Just to kind of end this, when about 17 years ago, when Weeburn was looking for a head golf professional, they wanted someone with great head pro experience, which he had at the Country Club of Buffalo, someone who had great experience as an assistant. And I like to say Sam Wiley is one of the reasons that makes our section great. Sam isn't from this section, but when Weeburn was looking to find the right fit, they brought in the person that has made our section better. Through his ability to train his assistants, he now places assistants as head professionals in this section and throughout the country. I really couldn't think of a more deserving person to receive this. The Special Award Committee honors Sam Wiley as the Private Merchandiser of the Year.
Thanks, Stuart. Good morning, everyone. Before I get started, I'd just like to say I was very saddened by the news over the weekend about Michael Clayton. I didn't know Michael, but as all of you are aware, Kelly is such a valued asset of our Met PGA family, and so my thoughts and prayers go out to Kelly and family. So thank you, first of all, to the Special Awards Committee. I greatly appreciate being recognized for this award, and thanks and congratulations to all of the other award winners today. A little bit of who I am is obviously my mom and dad and my experience growing up in Western Pennsylvania. But I'd also like to thank my former head professionals and mentors who helped me become the golf professional that I am. I had a rare opportunity to work for 4 different national award winners in my career as an assistant professional. I'd like to thank Greg Lecker, who was the Merchandiser of the Year, Craig Harmon, who was the Golf Professional of the Year, Jim McLean, Teacher of the Year, and Dennis Sadisher, who was the Bill Strasbaugh Award winner. Thanks to my staff, as all of you know, they're the ones that really make it happen on a day-to-day basis. Here with me today, Amy Carver. Amy's worked for me for 8 years. Amy worked with me back through the Ryder Cup years at Oak Hill, and she's been a tremendous asset. Also with me today, Pat Clark and Kevin Cristofaro. Thank you, guys. Not with us today, but certainly want to recognize Dan Powers, Justin Lawler, and our golf shop manager, Lori Palma. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank my wife, Marianne. She's done a great job for me. She gave up her career as an attorney when we came down here from the Country Club of Buffalo. She helped us in the shop. She still helps us day to day, but from behind the scenes. She does our ladies buying, my accounts receivable, my accounts payable. But again, she's a very independent person, and I really thank her for helping me with our 2 young twin daughters and making everything run smoothly at home. Craig Harmon had an expression about staff, and it was via his father when asked about his hiring process. And I've advocated and followed this and found it to be very true. He said, hire ladies and gentlemen first. You can always train them to be golf professionals. And I can't thank my staff enough for all they make happen on a daily basis. I owe them tremendously. What I try to do is just probably like many of you try to show your appreciation through staff dinners and staff trips and so forth. I certainly like to do some things that are different. Some of the other trips are not always local, but we had a nice experience this year. 5 of us were able to head out to Hazeltine for a couple days, and we got to experience the Ryder Cup. So it was a great staff bonding trip, and ironically, while I was out there, I was texting with some of my former assistants, and long and short of it, one who's no longer in the golf business just happened to be in Minneapolis on business, and he came and joined us for dinner. So we have created this staff family, and it's paid dividends for me, and I know it'll pay dividends for all of you. Our membership at WeBurn are very lucky. Our staff provides friendly, unequaled service on a daily basis. I do give them the ownership ability to make decisions on the fly to keep everybody happy. We build our relationships through programs like our Play with the Pro. I'm sure everybody now does that. I've done that for over 20 years. Again, that's something I learned from Craig Harmon, and that's stayed with me today. We've turned it into a Pro-Am, and it has really helped us create those relationships. I've been very fortunate, obviously, through the change of some demographics at the club, obviously the great staff that I'm fortunate to have, but we've increased our sales tremendously over the last 5 years. And again, as Stuart mentioned, a lot of it is because we go beyond golf. In the summer, we have expanded our logo to some of the things like Stuart said. We did reinstitute a beach club specific logo that we put on some Vineyard Vines clothing. In the fall, I transitioned the golf shop much more away from golf, more to the lifestyle brands. And as he said, we have a gun club, so I sell Barber wax cotton jackets, outerwear. We sell shoes and zero restriction for our active paddle tennis program. Some guide heated vests for around town or when parents are on the sidelines at their kids' games. And then I've also taken retail clothing from Vineyard Vines. We're talking vests, sweaters, wovens, 5-pocket cords, and we, again, create more of a lifestyle image throughout the golf shop. One final credo I'd say is never stop learning. I know as Met PGA professionals, you've worked hard to attain your success and your status, but you must never stop trying to get better. Many times it's through education or spending time with highly regarded professionals. And as Stuart did mention earlier, I do this continuously, whether it's with my staff or whether it's on my own, and I try to bring these things back to the club. This year I was fortunate to make a couple trips. I spent 2 days down at the Sea Island Golf Learning Center with Todd Anderson, Mike Shannon, and their club fitter, Craig Allen. So I took a lesson and observed and kind of learned along that. And then at the end of April, I hopped on a plane and headed out to Nebraska to spend 2 days with James Seekman, and took a lesson from James and spent 2 days around him learning more about the short game. So in summary, I'd like to conclude: learn from the best and seek the best. Treat your staff well and with respect. They're the conduit to your membership. Never stop learning and trying to better yourself. I would like to thank the members at Weburn Country Club. They are giving me the platform to grow professionally and to grow and guide their programs and projects. I wish everyone a great fall and a healthy 2017. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Our next category is Merchandiser of the Year in the Public Sector. For anyone who visits Montauk Downs, one of the 364 days a year that they are open, you'll be treated to a very special experience, which is created by Kevin Smith and his team. Quickly, they make you feel like you are part of the Downs family. A golf shop that is always beautifully displayed and stocked seasonally with appropriate merchandise. Visitors will always find the most relevant and unique offerings. Kevin's business philosophy is simple. Do what is best for the game of golf. Do what is best for the golfer. Do what is best for the course. And do what is best for the municipality I serve. It's my honor and privilege to introduce the 2016 Merchandiser of the Year, Kevin Smith.
I came without notes, as usual. It's basically how I run my operation, just by the seat of my pants. But I'm here not to accept an award for me. It's about the people I'm about to mention, because without them, I can't do it. So I need to thank my shop display manager, Christina Turgis, that does an unbelievable job with no budget. My outside people, Mark Hamilton Taylor, and Lazarus, if you've ever been there before. My superintendent, who keeps the golf course in tremendous condition with a very limited staff and budget. That's all part of the merchandising, philosophy for the Downs. The front office staff, New York State Parks, who allows me to be me a little bit. My satellite operation, I have a PGA professional there, John Tong. And then on a personal basis, I have a business partner for 28 years that I've been at Montauk. And he's been a personal friend for about 35, Mr. Ken Broadleib. So I thank him for allowing him to be me. And then lastly, my children, who love me, unconditionally. And, James, Michael, Amanda, Sarah, and David, I thank them for allowing me to do what I do. And as you heard, yes, it's not about how many shirts I sell or clubs or this or anything else. We try to do what's best for my membership. And my membership, yes, varies every day. We have 35,000 people that walk through the door. A lot of them are regulars. A lot of them are not. I abuse them. My staff consoles them. And that's important, okay? Because they understand me, the 35,000 people that walk through, except for one or two here and there. But I've never gotten a complaint letter yet. But it's all about my staff, and I appreciate everybody here that's given me the opportunity to be a PGA member. And I think over the years, the membership there has come to realize that there is a value in the PGA Pro. And I appreciate, again, my membership allowing me to be me. And as a result, the trickle down is, yes, some stuff moves out the door, and eventually I lose a little less money each year. But thank you, and I'm going to pass this on.
Next, I'd like to invite up Mike Diffley to introduce the 2016 recipient of the Player Development Award.
Good morning. Still morning, is it? Okay. I'm here to present the winner of our Player Development Award. He walked into my office 17 years ago after a couple of years of working for the famous JK at Westchester and learning how to teach under a mutual friend, the explosive Tom Patry. We became friends that day and shared lunch, and we've shared lunches for the last 16 years. Obviously, if you look at Ben and I, we have a different idea of what lunch is. At our lunches, we call it a summit. We basically exchange ideas on how to improve our operations and ourselves. I can think back to one day at a Met PGA fall meeting where we had Stuart Levine teaching the section how to improve yourself in a changing environment, meaning smartphones, computers, communications to the members, and Ben and I walked out of Lake Success Country Club and drove straight to the Verizon store and bought our own smartphones. I didn't pay for his at that time. Ben's been at Waikagill for 12 years, which is sort of remarkable because at Pelham, everybody still thinks of Ben as Benny, as the 24-year-old that came in and taught everybody how to hit the ball a little bit further, had his Midwestern kindness, and just made tons of friends. Waikagill, if you don't know, is a 21,000 round a year club with 260 members. That's busy. These are avid players. Ben's opening and closing shotguns, or actually their tee times, are record setting. They do 150 players, 175 players. His raffle would make my month in sales. Ben's run member guests off the charts for years. Obviously, I steal his ideas and use them. Other player development things he's done is weekday night league. Again, Pelham stealing Waikagill's ideas. 140 players play for 10 weeks. Makes you a superstar in the boardroom. Again, Ben created a guest minimum book to get guest play. Every member had to take a guest book of 10 tickets and buy it. Became part of their minimum. Imagine getting that passed. Ben's hosted the Met PGA Spring Meeting for the last 5 years, and he's probably been involved in most committees around the section. The board, tournament committee when I was on it. And his biggest contribution the last couple of years is PGA Junior League. If those of you that don't know, he came around to me and probably 40 other of you and said, you better do this because this is awesome. This works at your club. It works for the kids. It's the best thing I've seen ever in helping kids play, getting kids introduced to golf. He's taken leadership in that among our section, and I know all of us, including my staff, have called Ben with any problems, always has the answer. As a Met PGA professional, Ben is a teacher, a great fitter, an excellent player, and a wonderful administrator. The one thing he has that ties him to me is his passion for golf. As we know, Ben's moving on to an unbelievable position, succeeding the legendary JK at Westchester, one of the greatest clubs in America. I have no doubt that Ben will be a success there. Keep following Ben. He's someone we want to follow to show us how to grow the game. Ben?
Thank you, Mike, for those very kind words. I will agree with you on the lunch aspect. The orders are a little bit different on that aspect. I'd like to thank the Special Awards Committee, the Metropolitan PGA Board of Directors, and the entire staff at the Metropolitan PGA for everything they do, not only for me, but for everybody in this room. The Player Development Award is an honor for me to win, but the award should really be given to a large group of people who have their hand in making all these programs successful. Jonathan Gold initiated many great ideas. Waikiki Country Club enabled me to run with these programs. The members of Waikiki participated, encouraged, and supported all of these programs. The junior golfers and the parents who really make the PGA Junior League a success. And most importantly, my golf staff at Waikiki, John Deegan, Kevin Samela, Paul Salvaggio, and Patrick Schwartz. They're the ones that should be able to put this award on their resume. Their tireless effort, dedication to the programs, new and exciting ideas are really the things that make any player development program a success. Thank you. As many of you know, this is an exciting time for me professionally and personally, and I'd be remiss not to thank John Kennedy and Mike Diffley, my two former bosses and great mentors, and also my family, my wife Zed and our 3 children, James, Zara, and Charlie. They've supported me throughout the years, but this summer was a particularly busy one, so thank you very much. And best of luck to all of you over the winter, and congratulations to all the award winners today. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to invite Rick Meskel up to introduce the 2016 Patriot Award recipient.
Good morning. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all the award winners here today. The Patriot Award is presented to a PGA professional who personifies patriotism through the game of golf and who demonstrates unwavering commitment and dedication to the men and women who have valiantly served and protected the United States of America. Without a doubt, Paul Glutt emulates those qualities and is so well deserving of this award. My association with Paul began 26 years ago when he started as an assistant working at the Meadowbrook Club. One of the areas that I challenged Paul with was filling outside operations positions. With his sense of character, his judgment, and leadership qualities, Paul hired some of the best young people from Long Island during his time at the club. Things haven't changed. Good people find other good people, a quality that is clearly part of Paul's DNA. When the Met PGA Hope program came along, Paul did the same thing. He jumped in quickly. His military background in the United States Marine Corps, combined with his love of the game of golf, was a perfect fit. He helped organize the instruction and multiple on-course events for our veterans in the area. His efforts were instrumental in the success of PGA Hope in the Met section. His ability to involve his members and his peers, both financially and through their actions, speak volumes to the respect that he has earned based on his commitment to our veterans. Over 200 individuals have graduated through the PGA Hope program and are now enjoying golf. As part of the program, over 200 sets of clubs have been gifted to these individuals. He also gave many of us in the room today a wonderful opportunity to get involved with him in helping our patriots everywhere. It is a very rewarding experience. His giving back does not stop there. Participation in community service is one of Paul's many projects. Together with a group of friends from his church who take a week each year and donate their time and materials helping others less fortunate, rebuilding their homes so that they have a roof over their heads again. What a gift. It started with Hurricane Katrina 10 years ago, but it did not stop there. Paul and his friends have also traveled to North Carolina, Orleans, New York, to help out also our Long Island victims after Hurricane Sandy. There have been multiple repeat visits, and he has made a huge difference in the lives of many. He will leave this Thanksgiving to go south for the third time to help continue the restoration of the North Carolina Boys Academy, which is a home for troubled youth in that area. With as many selfless contributions to others, we could not find a better representative for this award. Before I ask Paul to come up, I would like to introduce Paul's wife, Carol Ann, who is here today. If we could give a Met section welcome to Carol Ann. Paul and Carol Ann reside in Holtzville, Long Island. They have 3 wonderful children, Nicholas, Tyler, and Samantha. And would you please join me in welcoming Paul Glutt to the podium to receive the 2016 Patriot Award today. Thank you, Paul. All right, buddy. Let me clear out. There you go.
Thank you. Congratulations all the winners today. Very honored to be up here with such wonderful professionals. I don't feel very worthy of this deserving this award, but I am very honored, and I accept it with the pros that have put their time, the vets that have put their time and contributed and been part of, the staff that have been part of this whole program. The PGA Hope program has been a blessing to me, and an honor to be able to work with our American heroes, our veterans that we have around us every day. I know a lot of these people. I've come to know a lot of them. I call them friends now. We talk beyond golf, and I think that's a big part of what Hope is doing. I learned that these guys really love golf. They love learning golf. But most of all, they love the idea of getting together with their fellow veterans. You know, being a Marine, I know the brotherhood that they talk about. You know, when you serve and you're with your fellow, veterans, fellow people in the Army, Navy, Marines, there's a brotherhood that you form and a connection that you have with your fellow soldier, Marine, that is unlike anything else. And when we made Hope come about, all you guys made Hope come about, that brought them all together, where they leave here and talking a lot about with a lot to some of these vets. That's part of the problem when they leave, is they leave behind a lot of their brothers. Unfortunately, now they're leaving a lot of their brothers behind that didn't make it back, or that come back with missing limbs or with scars internally that we don't see. And they come back, they don't have that brother to rely on. And a lot of them have talked to us and said how that really has been a big part of it. Guys come and they visit me at the club and they talk, and I don't even give them a lesson. We just sit and talk in my office. And a lot of them, that's what they want. So that's what you guys have been you've been a big part of creating. And I'm hoping that it's going to get bigger and bigger. So when we talk about doing Hope, it's not just golf, but it's getting these guys together to understand that we're still here for them. And the big part of that is what Kelly Clayton always says. It's called the Hope family, and that family is all the pros, it's all the veterans, all the staff that have been part of it for these 2 years. I want to thank the staff. Like I mentioned before, they've been a rock, unbelievable. You guys have been the best. Kelly is my commander-in-chief. Couldn't do it without her. She's been the one who was really the motor behind it. I really want to thank the ownership of my club, because they give me the time to leave my job and to go and be part of this whole program. We've hosted two of the fall programs and done 2 of the graduations, and I'm blessed that they allow me to do that there, and they're more than happy to. And to all the pros that have helped me along the way, and especially Rick Meskel, who I can't believe it's been 26 years, but so long ago that I remember him, I never forget, he said, just keep kind of bettering yourself every day, every year, make yourself better and better. So you come back not only as a sane professional, but some new ideas and a better professional. And I thank him for that. And I do want to thank my wife, Carol Ann, and my family, because I spent a lot of time away, and with every project you do, you spend even more and more time away. So I am truly blessed to have such an understanding life, like I'm sure a lot of us are, and I thank you. And thank all the military people, all the military, our veterans, our active, for all the times they put in and all the sacrifices they made. You know, the slogan of all gave some and some gave all is not just, you know, words. Some do. I see one of my boys here, Artie. You know, Artie, although he's got his other arm in there today, but this guy could play like nobody could play with one arm. The guy could beat most of my members with one arm. So thank you all for listening to me ramble on. The 22 veterans that commit suicide a day it's a horrible number, and if we can do one small part of helping fix that would be awesome. So thank you very much, Semper Fi, and God bless you all.
Great job. Hang on a minute. So we have a special guest here. I'd like to ask Artie McCall to come up here, a veteran and a graduate of the PGA Hope program. Artie? Great job, Artie. Okay, buddy. What, Mike? Thank you.
A sincere thank you, Paul, for everything. I'd like to invite up next Mr. Stuart Wack to introduce the 2016 Youth Player Development Award recipient.
Bill McAdon is a head golf professional of the Port Jefferson Country Club, and he's a junior golf promoter. Bill's been a member of the junior golf PGA committee for the last 3 years. He's helped shape the programs with his personal involvement, hosted Met PGA junior events, and started a first tee curriculum and after-school program at the Port Jeff Country Club the past 3 years. As a committee member of the junior golf, even though he comes from Port Jeff and our meetings are held in Westchester, he's never missed a meeting, and even some of these are in the wintertime in some pretty bad weather. I'm always quite surprised when Bill comes through that door. At his club, he does a bunch of things which would be considered best practices. Every child or grandchild is given a cut-down club and fitted for them so that they can enjoy the putting green or the driving range with the parents or grandparents. Saturdays and Aprils to start the season, Bill provides free lessons for all juniors. As well, during the year, half-price lessons for all juniors. That's exceptional, Bill. He donates his time to the Port Jefferson and Ward Melville High Schools, Suffolk County Community College, Adelphi University, St. John's, and is currently working with Stony Brook to begin a golf program there. Bill brought his success that he developed in the kinetic section when he was a former Merchandiser of the Year winner and section president award recipient. He brought that to Port Jeff and the Met section. He came with a simple philosophy of if you make junior golf the focus at the club and in the community, success will follow. And what he's done is that he's increased the asset, and a very important asset in the town, and made it more valuable, as well as showing what the value of a PGA professional does in his community. Bill McAdon sets the standard that should be followed by others. The Special Awards Committee recognizes him for his dedication to youth player development and is excellent. Congratulations, Bill.
Well, first off, I'd like to congratulate all the award winners. I compliment you all for outstanding achievements. I consider it an honor to be standing here in front of you today. I also would like to thank the Met PGA Selection Committee for honoring me with this award. I greatly appreciate this. With all the previous awards that I've won in the past, I consider this my highest honor, and I thank you for honoring me with this. I was taught by my father, Jerry Macadon, who was a PGA professional in the New England section for 40 years, from the time I was a young boy, the importance of giving back to the game of golf. Since turning professional, I realized how important it is in our profession to grow women's and junior golf. Through my career, I have given free lessons every Saturday, and also some of the other achievements that Stuart has done. But I think the most important thing that I've done is allow to bring the community and to make it part of the country club to really try to grow the junior golf in our environment as strong as I can and move forward with that. We also try to schedule indoor training to complete that process where we keep juniors involved in golf year-round. It's important for us to keep that mind of to grow the game for all of our players and all of our youth to try to keep it as a year-round environment. I am privileged to have the chance to have mentored the great game of golf. The life skills, along with being able to grow the game as a person and teach them not only how to play tournament golf, but to act as honorable members of society, has truly been a pleasure of mine during the past 19 years as head golf professional. I am very thankful to my wife, Michelle, and my son, Jerry. They have supported me by giving me the time off and had the chance to help youth golfers go as individuals and learn how to love the game we are so fortunate to call our profession. I wish all of you a safe, healthy, and happy holiday season and wish you a warm and well-deserved time off this winter. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to invite James Ondo to the podium to introduce the 2016 Horton Smith Award recipient.
Thank you, Chris. The Horton Smith Award recognizes the PGA professional who is the model educator of PGA professionals. This award is designed to give special recognition to an individual PGA professional for outstanding and continuing contributions to professional education. No one is more deserving than our 2016 recipient. This gentleman is certainly one of a kind and emulates no one. However, he is the epitome of what Horton Smith stood for. As a former Met Open champion, he has demonstrated an incredible playing ability throughout his career. As the 2013 Met PGA Teacher of the Year, he has grown the game and made it more enjoyable for his students. As the 2000 Met PGA Merchandiser of the Year, he has provided his customers a high level of customer service for many years. And as the longtime PGA head professional at Pelham Country Club, he has mentored many assistants onto outstanding careers. These accolades do not tell the most important story of who our award winner is. Our recipient embodies the selflessness and dedication in an effort to make our association better. Through his years of participation on the board and numerous committees, he has provided leadership that maintains our position as the best section in the country. By volunteering to provide educational opportunities within our section, he is sharing his decades of knowledge and experience to the most passionate teachers in the game. He has also helped countless professionals and amateurs enjoy the game more and compete at a higher level through his teaching and mental coaching. However, this man's greatest gift is his friendship. I first met him during a practice round in 2007. I was drawn to Mike because of his gregarious and opinionated nature, shall we say colorful vocabulary, and proud Queens roots. Over the last 10 years, this man has become one of my teachers, mentors, and best friends. I know I'm not the only one in this room with the same sentiments. The impact he has made on his fellow professionals, including myself, have been career and life-changing. I have more love for this man than words can express. Without further ado, your 2016 Met PGA Horton Smith Award recipient, Mike Diffley.
Thanks, James. The check's in the mail. Couple of things. First off, I want to thank the Met PGA. I'm a product of the Met PGA. I was a player in the first year that the Junior Tour started. Grew up in New York. See all these wonderful golf pros from around the country strive to become Met PGA pros. And they turn into them, and we love them. James, Ben, two guys I've been friends with a long time, incredible golf professionals. I want to thank the Pelham Country Club. It's been my home for more than half of my life. 29 years. Wow. I want to thank my incredible staff, a couple of them in the back. Ronnie Kopp, many of you know Ronnie, my former caddy, my shop manager, and one of the greatest friends a golf pro or anybody could have. Next to Ronnie, Joe D. Domenico. Maybe one of the smartest golf pros I've ever been around. Every day, Joe forwards articles to me on technology, junior golf, self-improvement. He's one of the most amazing people I know, and if you don't know him, get to. He also hits at 320, in case you don't know. I'm always impressed by that. I don't know. Sitting down in front of me here is a former boss of mine, Ed Kelly. Ed's a former winner of this award. Ed's been the pro at Cherry Valley Club, I guess, since he's 15 years old. He still looks like he's 15 years old. I always have to tell people, I work for Ed. He didn't work for me. Education. There's PGA education. There's academic education. There's self-education. Give you a little history of, 2-second history of education. 3,000 years ago, the famous philosopher Socrates was put to death for trying to teach his followers to be open-minded. 300 years ago, Thomas Jefferson was said to know everything there was to know in the world. He had read every book that was ever written. Now here we are today with the internet, seminars like Dr. McCabe, Met PGA education programs. It's endless the amount of education you can do. I'll give you one great academic achievement. 30 years ago, Mike Diffley graduated from St. John's, 7 years after he started. Considered the most remarkable achievement in the world by his father and brothers. Ways to get smarter in this world is to read and watch or take some information from those that are smarter than us. There's many of them in this room. I can look out and see a handful that I spend time with whenever I get a chance. The opportunities today, books, seminars, blogs, podcasts, internet, they're endless. I know we're all busy. We have busy jobs. We have personal lives. We try to play, teach. There's 168 hours in a week. If we sleep 7 hours a night and work 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, sometimes 7, that only adds up to 100 hours. You got 68 other hours. You obviously want to spend some time with your kids, your wife, your friends, your family, but that leaves some time to learn some things. Don't waste your time cruising the internet or looking through magazines. Make a goal. Make a goal to improve yourself in some way. Be a lifetime learner and goal setter. Invest in yourself, time, money, experiences. Think outside the box. Obviously, I've thought outside the box my whole life, being a left-handed golfer. How do you like that? Growing up in Queens at Forest Park on dirt tees. It's okay, outside the box. People ask you a question, how do you get to do stuff? Well, this is a quote that I love to quote, and this will be my closing quote. The question isn't who is going to let me do what I want to do. The question is who's going to stop me? Nobody. Thanks. I love being a Met PGA pro. I love all of you. Thanks for loving me back. Appreciate it.
Next, I'd like to invite up to the podium Sean Baker to introduce the 2016 Teacher of the Year recipient.
Thank you. I'm here today to introduce the 2016 Met PGA Tweeter of the Year. Oh, Teacher of the Year. Sorry, wrong one. He's probably the first winner of this award with such a strong combination of teaching and club fitting, which I think is quite different. And he's very good at both. He continues to study with many of the top teachers in the country, as well as many of the top club engineers in our industry. I think some of the engineers maybe call him periodically. But I bet there's not many people in this room that don't know him. This says a lot about his personality, his character, and quite possibly his wardrobe. He continues to learn each day, as many of us continue to learn from him. It is my privilege to announce the 2016 Met PGA Teacher of the Year, the Golf Ninja, Kirk O'Gurry.
Is this a roast? Well, speaking of technology, I might be the only one coming up with the notes in their phone. It's on airplane mode, so Hobbins, don't text me. Thank you, everybody. Good morning or midday. This is pretty cool. I'd first like to thank the Met PGA staff, the Special Awards Committee, past presidents Heath Wassam, Joe Felder, Brad Worthington. Thank you very much for all of your support throughout the years. Sean Baker, thanks for the introduction. Appreciate it. He's a great mentor, but not only that, he's one of my close friends. I love you, Bake. Thanks, man. I'd like to also congratulate all the other winners from this year. It is the centennial year of the PGA, and I think that's a very neat thing. Extremely honored with that. When Heath called me this year, I kind of had to call him back at least once. Or did I call you back twice? Twice. I think it was something like, are you something, right? And when I found out it was true, it was a pretty special moment. So thanks for the call. Teaching golf is just trying to help everybody, regardless of what level they are, if they are accomplished players, novices, people who want to quit the game. I know that that's something that's actually special to me. When I get the golfer who's not thinking of alpha, betas, and gammas and pelvis rotations and wrist graphs, but they come up going, I'm ready to quit the game. And when I'm able to help those golfers improve the game and enjoy it, that's very fulfilling for me. So that's something that I'm always still looking at to make sure that that's my part in helping grow the game, because those golfers might tell their spouse or their friends, hey, I'm actually playing better, why don't you play? So that's something that I'm always thinking about to improve. My thirst for knowledge, to always seek out people that are better and smarter than me from around the country. I know that there are some people in this room that I'm always contacting so that I better myself. Those people right here. I don't know if Uncle Mikey's here. Who's Michael Breed? Maybe not. Mike Jacobs, Matt Dobbins, John Hobbins, James Hong, Michael Michaels, that's Michaelides, Ryan Cheney, Raul Barossa, just to name a few that have been an inspiration to me that always makes me better. I'd like to just recognize some of my head professionals that I work for who've taught me what to do and clearly what not to do. And especially John Schmoll for hiring me for my first job as an assistant back in '97. Thank you. John Forster's probably making a boatload of money somewhere on Long Island. John Sutter, who I worked for 7 years as a teaching professional, and currently now for the last 5 years, Sean Baker. I'd also like to thank Pete Mikowski and Woody Lashin over at Pete's Golf Shop. These are two gentlemen that I've known for over 20 years, 25 years, who always did all of my equipment, welcomed me into their shop to go and build, learn, do everything that I wanted to do in equipment, because I've always been passionate about that. And they've been nothing but supportive and only want the best for me. So thank you, guys. I always have to recognize the original Twitter Academy, as Sean was talking about. That really was a spark that led to a lot of connections from around the world. Those individuals are John Graham, Sarah Dixon, Jason Sutton, Dennis Sales, Andrew Marr, Mike Fay, Rob McGill, and Jason Hellman. Many of those are Teachers of the Year in their sections or their countries, and have accomplished a great deal also. And they're very good friends, and I care very much about them. I always wanted to do something important for my parents. They never saw me really win that big event in this section, but I think this award probably means more to them than any tournament could. Unfortunately, they couldn't be here. My dad's taking care of my mom, but I know that they'd be proud of their little ninja. So thank you, everybody.
Next, I'd like to invite Mr. Corey Muller to the podium to introduce the 2016 Bill Strasbaugh Award recipient.
Thanks, Chris. It's my distinct honor to introduce this year's Bill Strasbaugh Award winner, Grant Turner. I worked for Grant Turner for 6 years, and it was my first position here in the Met section. And to this day, he reminds me that he took a big chance on me, but I'm so thankful he did. As an alumnus of Siwanoy Country Club under the mentorship of Grant, I know firsthand the level of professionalism, leadership, and character Grant brings to the club and his team on a daily basis. A champion on the European Tour, the 1990 Zimbabwe Open, and former assistant golf professional at Sleepy Hollow, Grant now serves the membership at Siwanoy Country Club and has done so for the last 20 years. There he has hired, trained, and advanced many assistant golf professionals. In fact, 7 of Grant's former assistants have become head professionals, 3 of which are currently here in the Met section today. But it's not just head golf professionals that have benefited. Grant has made his mark on helping young assistants stay true to their passions and goals in life, even if it's outside the golf business. I think it's a testament to the skills obtained while working for Grant, that they translate to our day-to-day work as well as in other business arenas. I think the best way to describe Grant's leadership style is empowerment. Grant encouraged me to take ownership of the operation and the tasks at hand. When our team experienced challenges, Grant would step forward and lead us. And when our team was experiencing successes, he would step back and be the promoter. He always encouraged us to take a look at the big picture of a decision or an idea. How will this affect the membership? How will it affect the staff, the golf course, or the bottom line? He always allowed us to see the full cycle of an event, not just our one component of it. Grant is a person of outstanding character. It is, however, his respect for other people and his fairness that I have always admired. As professionals, we're often put into situations to be swayed into making a decision based on a member in charge or a committee. Grant always treats the members of the club and his team with fairness, never wavering from making the right decision for the club, even if sometimes that decision is more difficult or unpopular. He treats everyone the same and everyone with a great deal of respect. It's an honor for me to be a part of the giving back to Grant Turner, as he's given so much to me and many others in our careers. So please join me in congratulating Grant on the 2016 Bill Strasbaugh Award.
It really doesn't seem like 15 years ago that I received a phone call from Corey when I was advertising for my third lead pro. I had a stack of resumes on my desk and Corey was in there. As soon as Corey called me, and I'm sure you'll understand, he was the guy. He was great on the phone. He's right. Corey was too young. He was too inexperienced, but the potential was there. I took a risk, and it worked out very well. It's been a pleasure watching you. 6 years at Siwanoy. Corey then moved on to Purchase, where you spent 5 years, I think, and then on to Darien. So congratulations, Corey, and thank you for the kind words. I want to thank the selection committee for this award. When Heath called me in the spring, I hadn't considered anything. It was a real surprise. But the award is not really just for me. It's for all the assistants I've had, and I've managed to hire and move through the process. As Corey said, I've had 7 guys move into head pro positions. 3 of them are still here in the section. There's Corey, Ryan George out at Rockaway, and Jason Karen, who's now at Mill River. I've got an assistant in Texas who's a head pro, 1 in Tennessee and another in California. And it's a pleasure watching them all progress through their careers. I've also had a guy who's started his own company, another guy who now works for Dartmouth University, so a wide variety of people, which has been a pleasure. I am the beneficiary of this award, but really it's everybody else that wins the award for me. I step in from time to guide people, but I let everyone get on with their own job. Take responsibility for the job, do the best you can, and move on with your career from there. I want to acknowledge my staff. A couple are here today. Joanne Walker, Joanne Wave. She's been here with me 10 years. And Cody Smith just finished his 3rd year. I also have Nick Bova, who joined me 2 years ago as my teaching pro. He's not here today. I think he's on the lesson tee. And I have another guy, Cody Correa, who's just got his PGA membership. How things work out, Cody has just changed jobs. He's just gone out into the business world, got a job this week, starts next Monday. So I'm happy for him. He's doing what he really wants to. I also want to thank my family, my long-suffering family. We all know with this business, we spend weekends working. I've been married to my wife 28 years now, my wife Judy and my 2 kids. We missed a lot of weekends, but I want to thank them for their support all the time as we move through this career. One last thank you to someone that I'm sure many of you know, some of you don't know, but my first boss up here, Jim O'Mara, an ex-PGA, ex-Met PGA president, a previous winner of this award. He left the section about 15 years ago. He's now the director of golf at Charles River up in Massachusetts. He was my first boss at Sleepy Hollow. He rescued me from a career in playing tournament golf that wasn't going too well, gave me a job at Sleepy Hollow teaching, and I owe him a big thank you for what he did for me. First of all, the big thank you was in hiring me, getting me up here into the section. The second thank you was that he really showed me how to apply for a job. I'd been there 3 years and I was applying for Siwanoy. He gave me some guidelines on how to do it. He kept on me, kept on my case when he did it, and just kept on. And I was fully prepared when I got to Siwanoy. Jim's 3 big things were: be ready. Be ready when you apply. You don't know when the jobs are going to come up. Be ready. Do your homework. And when you have a presentation, always do it from the point of view, look at it from the point of view of the selection committee. Don't just look at it from your point of view. So I had my first cover letter written. I had my first resume written, showed it to Jim, and he goes, "You can do better than this. Can we make 2 sentences 1? Can we cut out words here and there? Can we make 2 paragraphs 1? So I went back, I re-edited it, re-edited my cover letter, give it back to Jim. He goes, "You can do better than this. Take out more words, make it make more sense." Eventually I got it where I had, and this was the days before electronic resumes, and everything was done by paper. I went to the post office to mail it, but I had a resume in a bifold. Photograph on the front, resumes on, references on the back, resume in the middle, all perfectly easy to see. It was Jim who kept on to me about doing this. And then he said, look at this resume from the point of view of your employer. What are they going to see with it? So he got me to step back, look at the resume, readjust it. When I did that, I could see more what they were looking for. I could see more the questions they were going to ask, and I felt really very prepared when I went to Siwanoy. I was probably too inexperienced, hadn't been around long enough, but it worked out, and I was ever thankful for what Jim did to me. That's it for this, but I just want to say something else, which is the same as what people have said all day about the professionalism of the Met PGA staff. As you know, we had the Centennial Tournament at Siwanoy this summer, and we had 16 tour pros come in, guys who weren't playing at Baltusrol, but tour pros nonetheless. When we did this, I knew I couldn't pull this off with my staff. I needed the help. I went to Charlie and Jeff last year, 2015, and said, can you help us do this? They came in with great staff, great enthusiasm, and huge professionalism. I think it made the members of my club realize what the Met PGA and what the PGA in general can do for this. So again, thank you guys very much. You were really awesome what you did in helping us pull this off. I'm very humbled for this award. Thank you all, and congratulations to all the other award winners. Thank you.
Congratulations. Well done. Thank you, Grant. Our next award is the Deacon Palmer Award, and I'd like to invite Mr. John Kennedy up to introduce the recipient.
Thank you, Chris. Criteria for the Deacon Palmer Award: integrity, character, leadership, and music. Overcome major obstacle in their lives. Serve to inspire and empower others in and out of the game of golf. 5-time PGA Player of the Year. Mentored by some of our greats, Bob Joyce, Jim Albus, and Tom Neoport. Helped build 2 high-level golf operations in Florida. The first Trump operation at Trump National and at Old Palm in Palm Beach. Joined the WCC staff in 1996. And the thing we noticed about him was the love of the game for all who played it. He encouraged everyone to play and practice, whether it be members or staff. He was committed to excellence throughout the operation. And he had complete loyalty to myself and to the club. As I spoke to his wife, Sarah, who's become a close friend, she talked about Bruce's competitive streak that never allowed him to give up in any of the struggles during Clara's illnesses. And their new mission, Clara's Secret Shepherd Fund, has provided over 500 children with their Christmas wishes. In addition, they introduced him to their newly adopted son, Lathan Zabriskie. Sarah said that Bruce's perseverance showed us how to be strong. And that this award, the Deacon Palmer Award, means more to this family than any of the golf awards that Bruce has won previously over the years. To Bruce's son, Evan, who I spoke to, who actually worked for me at the club, said that his dad's the strongest person I know. He did whatever it took to keep our family together. He sacrificed his career, his finances, and his time. He never gives up, which is the quality I respect the most. He said that the Clara Secret Shepherd Fund has shown the whole family to have great gratitude for what life has given him. And he said, "Dad, I love you." I'd like to introduce a member of our Met PGA Hall of Fame, my great friend and the 2016 Deacon Palmer Award winner, Mr. Bruce Zabriskie.
My name is Sarah Marmion, and I live in the Shores neighborhood in Jupiter, Florida, and my daughter's name is Clara Egan Zabriskie. She was a sweetheart. She was a Girl Scout, and she, liked school. Some days she wasn't crazy about it. Some days, just like any kid, she got along with everyone. She was a good girl. I think Clara had a big heart, and I think that she would like to know that that part of her legacy was helping children. The name of the program is called the Secret Shepherd Program, and it's operated by the Jupiter First Church here in Jupiter. When Clara passed away, we decided that she would like that the donations that people made in her name would go to the church's Secret Shepherd Fund to help children have a nice Christmas. The children that will receive these gifts are Palm Beach based, and they're foster children. We ultimately decided that Clara would have liked to have helped this particular group of foster kids. Each one of these kids had an individualized gift list, and you had to go to different places and go get the presents, that these kids asked for. The presents ran the gamut from bicycles, tricycles, wagons, dolls, Elmo, figurines, you name it, all shapes and sizes. It filled a room at the church. We were able to help 70 children receive presents on Christmas morning.
And I'm thankful every
I'd like to say thank you to everyone who contributed to this fund that Clara cared about, and for helping children have a nice Christmas morning and hopefully be inspired and know that there are people, even if they're strangers out there, who care about them.
Yeah, thanks. That's my daughter, Clara. And in her honor, I'm here today to talk to you about, the challenges that we've gone through as a family and survived them. And we're not alone. I think everybody goes through these challenges. So maybe I can kind of help you a little bit about, how we got through it. And one of the big things was, trying to do everything that we can do in memory of Clara and in her honor. And one quick story is a week before she passed was her 10th birthday, and we had an artist come into she was very sick then, and we had an artist come into the ICU room to give her a birthday present for her to paint. She loved to paint like all kids, and she painted a starfish. And that's what our logo is on our foundation, which has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger through the years, last 5 years. But the starfish story is all about, it's about a little boy on the beach, but we use a little girl that looks just like Clara, and she's an old man's walking down the beach, and this little girl is throwing seashells into the ocean. And as the man gets closer, those aren't seashells, those are starfish. And as he gets closer, he sees that the beach is littered with starfish. So he goes up to the little girl as she just throws a starfish into the water. And he says, "What are you doing?" And she said, "Well, I'm saving the starfish." And he says, "Well, you can't make a difference. Look at all, there's thousands of starfish. How can you possibly make a difference?" And she said to him, to that one starfish, "I did." And that's kind of our thing, is making a difference one at a time and doing what we can. And we adopted Lathan, who you can see there. Here's the guy with the beard is he's a sophomore at St. Augustine up at Flagler College, which I'm not happy about the beard. And of course, Sarah. And then Evan is my senior at Allegheny up in Pittsburgh, and he's the basketball player. In fact, he's got, I'm going to brag about him, he's got 882 points this year. So he's got this year to break the 1,000-point thing. And there's Lathan, LZ, little Z we call him. And Lathan and I, Lathan, all these foster kids have all been, through so much. Their stories, one's terrible, more terrible after the other, their upbringing. But we came across Lathan, because of our foundation with Clara, and then getting more and more involved with foster care. And then next thing you know, they talked about Lathan. He came up out of Miami, and he's been just a great kid. He's never going to replace Clara. There can't, but he's here because of Clara. And so he's a terrific kid, and he's doing great. I could tell you a lot of cute stories about him. But anyways, you can see he's a great kid, and we're happy to have him. And he's meant a lot to us, and he's really doing a good job. One thing that I do want to share as you go through life and any challenges, and one thing that this has all taught me is that I've always been an angry guy. I've always had a short fuse and always been a driven guy. And the one thing that I found out through help, some guys that have helped me and doctors that have helped and to get through losing a child, is that having a grateful, loving heart solves and helps make sense of all this stuff. The test your faith, and how can a little girl, how can you put, how can there be a God that can put a little girl through all this? And it tests your faith, of the guys that ask. And but being grateful for the 10 years that we had Clara, and being grateful for all the things that Clara still does for our lives, and the people that we help, that hopefully we're going to inspire some of you. There's great need in everything that there's out there. There's a lot of need for people, and hopefully you guys, if you give a little bit more, and if you're lucky enough to give a lot more. But there's a lot of people that need help. And so a grateful, loving heart is so important, and one thing that I learned. And then to have friends. I think looking back, I think that especially to the young assistants here, if I would have networked a little bit better, I was man, I had my eyeballs just on playing and trying to be the best player I could be, and it's a regret. I wish I would have, gotten to know more people. But the people that I did know, my true friends, John Kennedy and Barry Triano and Bobby Joyce, of course, was like a father to me after my dad died, and Jimmy Albus, and of course Charlie Robson, who we've lost touch a little bit here, but was so helpful with all my problems back through the years. I can't thank them enough, and I can't see how I would have gotten through this without friends. So with that, I want to thank everyone for let me be a part of the Met section and all these great years and what the Met section and my friends have meant to me and my family. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Bruce. Before we conclude the awards section of this morning's meeting, I did want to take a moment to recognize Brad Worthington, who is our 2016 Golf Professional of the Year. Brad will be recognized at the Spring Forum, but I did want to take a moment to recognize him now. Thank you. This time I'll hand the microphone over to President Kroll.
Thank you, Chris. And thank you all for your patience, and congratulations again to the award winners. A quick update, the nominating committee ballots have been counted and completed, so congratulations to our new nominating committee, Mike Diffley, Joe Felder, Dave Fusco, Bobby Hines, Tom Henderson, Greg Hurd, and Jim Smoot. That is your new nominating committee, and thank you for that. Also, we're going to take a quick break. I think everybody should get up and stretch their legs a little bit. I don't want you to go far. In 5 minutes, we'd like to be back in our seats for Dr. Brett McCabe. So make it a quick break. And could all our award winners meet out in the hall? Paul Giordano is going to be out there and take some pictures. Bring your plaques with you to the hallway. And folks, again, back here in 5 minutes. Thank you very much.